I'm going to be showing you guys how to turn any image into a 3D printable file using KromaCut. So the first thing you guys want to do is you want to go to KromaCut.com. Alright, so you just got to type this and hit enter. Now, we can just leave this tab open for now, because now we have to go find our image that we want to turn into the filament art. So I like to search up wallpapers because those look really good when printing. So I'm going to do Spider-Man 4K wallpaper for PC. I'm going to go to images and I'm going to look for one that I like. Hey, let's do this one with Miles Morales. So all you have to do is click on it and hold it, and you can now drag it into KromaCut and just drop it here. As you can see, your image is now in KromaCut. Now, I know a lot of you have never actually used KromaCut, so I'm going to show you how to use it really quickly. All these adjustments at the top, you can just ignore them. We're not really going to be using them. Resize image, you can use it if you want to make your image bigger or smaller. De-dither, whatever that says, you can just ignore that. Quantization settings, this is the one we're going to be using the most. So palette, we're going to be leaving it on auto. Algorithm weight and algorithm, we're just going to leave that as the default. And number of colors, this is what we're going to change. So most printers can only do up to 4 colors when printing in multicolor. What I like to do is I like to select 8, even though my printer can't print in 8 colors. Now, as you can see, this has 8 colors now. My image now has 8 colors. And over here, image colors, these are your 8 colors. So this looks pretty good in my opinion. I'm not going to change much about it. I'm going to go straight to the 3D tab over here. So basically, you want to arrange the layers over here in the color slice heights. So you can drag these layers. If they're at the top, they're going to be the very bottom layer. And if they're at the bottom, they're going to be the top layer. So basically what I like to do is, since I'm only going to be printing this in 4 colors, I like to make sure I have really thin layers, like 0.08. And I like to arrange these in a way that makes sense. So I want to have a 0.08 millimeter layer height and a 0.16 millimeter first layer height. I always turn on smooth meshing to make the edges of it, not like the edges of the actual picture, but it makes the picture look smoother. So here's the thing with this one. I have different shades of red, different shades of brown, and I have a black and a white. So here's what I like to do. I like to really think this through. I'm going to have black at the bottom, right? It's usually a really good color for your base. And one of my colors is a dark red. So what I do is I put the dark red right above the black. So when we have these thin 0.08 millimeter layers, it makes that red a bit see-through, and it makes it a darker red because the black is right below it. I like to make the first color a little thicker than the rest, so I want it to have more layers, right? And I have this like that. So now that we have a dark red, I need to figure out how to get these two. So I put them right above the red, and I'm going to print these two in white. And since these layers are so thin, they're sort of going to mix with the red and turn into approximately those colors, similar at least. Now that we have these, we're going to put white right above it. And I'm going to set that white to about 0.16 millimeter layer height. After that, I'm going to put, so these 3 are going to be red. They're going to be all red. Now, I'm going to put the lightest red right above the white. And the second lightest right above this one. And the brightest red is going to be right at the top. And since it's going to be above these 2 layers of red, it's going to look like a normal red. I'm also going to add more height to it. And now we can just hit build 3D model. So now over here, it shows you how big your 3D model is actually going to be. So mine is going to be 220 by 124 millimeters in size. So this looks pretty good. If you like how it turned out, you can go ahead and hit this button over here, download 3MF. So we can just call it Spider-Man KromaCut and hit save. Now, next thing we want to do is open Bamboo Studio. So first thing we want to do is make sure our layer height matches the 3MF's layer height, okay? Because since this 3MF isn't from Bamboo Studio, it's gonna get a little messed up in this part, which is why we have to change a bunch of settings before we actually import the 3MF. First setting we want to change is the filament over here. Right now we only have 2 filaments. We want to change it to 8 filaments because that's how many we had in the actual 3MF. So if we go back to our KromaCut tab, we can see the 8 colors that we have here. So we want to memorize these. We got black, red, white, 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 red, red, red. So we want to select those colors in Bamboo Studio. So the first one was black, then we had red, then we had white, then white again, and we had our third white. Then the last 3 were red. Okay, now that we changed all of those settings, we can import it into Bamboo Studio. You gotta find it, Spider-Man KromaCut, and we can import it. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't look too good. But when you actually print it, it will look a lot better. So the prime tower is huge, or so it seems. After you slice it, the prime tower won't be as big. So while it's slicing, you can sort of see what it will look like. So this is sort of what it will look like. Okay, it finished slicing. So this is how it will print. Now, I know this probably looks awful, but you'll see that when it actually finishes printing, it will look a lot better. So we can hit print plate. We just want to make sure all our filaments are using the correct filament. So you can see that we started with 8 different colors, but we're only going to be using 3. I very much recommend using auto bed leveling because it helps a lot, especially when your model uses so much of your build plate. Time lapse is completely optional, and now you can hit send to printer. Now you just gotta wait for it to finish. It finished printing and it honestly turned out great. I mean, this looks really good. That is how you can turn any image into a 2-dimensional 3D printed filament art in literally just about 10 minutes. Thanks for watching, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.